There is a kind of stillness that doesn't ask anything of you. It's there in the room before you notice it. It settles in the corners first, then spreads slowly across the floor like water finding its level. You don't have to do anything about it. Stillness doesn't need your permission. It arrives the way darkness arrives, gradually, until you can't remember when the light was last here. The room holds its shape in the dark. The walls remain where they've always been. Nothing has moved, but everything feels different now, softer somehow. There's a quality to nighttime that daylight never has. The air itself seems to rest. Even sound moves differently after dark, like it's traveling through something thicker, something that slows it down. A car passes somewhere far away. The sound arrives long after the car has already gone. You hear it the way you hear something remembered. Stillness is full of small sounds that don't interrupt anything. The house makes its quiet noises, settling into itself. A creak that means nothing. A whisper of air through a space you can't see. These sounds don't ask you to listen. They're just there, like the darkness is there, like the stillness is there. You're lying down now, and the weight of your body presses into the surface beneath you. The surface holds you without effort. It's been holding things for a long time. Your body knows how to rest, even when your mind has forgotten. There's a memory in your bones, older than thought. It remembers how to become heavy, how to sink, how to stop. You don't have to teach it anything. The ceiling is up there somewhere, invisible in the dark. You know it's there the way you know other things are there, things you can't see but trust anyway. The room continues around you in every direction. It holds a small pocket of space that belongs to this moment, to this particular instance of lying still in the dark. Time moves differently at night. It stretches out long and slow, like honey spreading across a flat surface. Minutes become longer than they were during the day. Hours open up into something wider. You can rest inside time the way you rest inside this room, held by something larger than yourself. There's no hurry in any of this. Stillness doesn't rush. It's already arrived at where it's going, which is here, which is nowhere in particular. Your breathing has its own rhythm, a pattern it follows without instruction. In and out, steady and slow. The breath knows what to do. It's been doing this since the beginning, since before you had words for any of it. The darkness behind your eyelids is its own kind of space. It's soft and deep without edges. You could fall into it the way you fall into sleep, gradually, and then all at once. But there's no rush for that either. You can stay here in this in-between place, where you're not quite awake and not quite asleep. This is a good place to be. Nothing is required of you here. The night will take care of itself. It always has. Morning is so far away it might as well not exist yet. Right now there is only this, the dark, the stillness, the soft weight of being. Somewhere outside, the world continues its slow turning. But that's not something you need to think about. The world can turn without you for a while. It's done it before. There's a comfort in knowing that everything will keep going, even while you rest. The stars will continue their patient burning. The moon will pull at the tides. The earth will spin through its circle of hours. And you can be still inside all that motion. You can be the quiet center of something vast and slow. The sheets against your skin have become warm. They hold the heat of your body, giving it back to you in a gentle exchange. This is a small kindness, one you don't have to notice, but it's there anyway. The pillow has shaped itself around your head. It remembers the weight of you. Everything in this moment is designed for rest, even if it wasn't designed at all. Things just fall into place sometimes. They arrange themselves into comfort without anyone planning it. Stillness is like that too. It arranges itself around you, fills in the spaces between things, becomes the texture of the night itself. You're held by it now, gently and completely. There's nowhere else you need to be. This is enough. This has always been enough. The darkness is patient. It doesn't mind how long you take. It will wait with you through all the hours until morning, and even then, some of it will remain, hiding in the shadows, waiting for night to come around again. But that's a long time from now. Right now there is only this soft descent into rest, the slow dimming of thought, the gentle loosening of everything you've been holding. You can let it go now. All of it. The day has already happened. It's behind you now, fading into memory, becoming less solid with each moment that passes. Soon it will seem like something that happened to someone else, in some other time, some other place. And maybe it did. Maybe you're already becoming someone new, someone softer, someone who knows how to rest. The stillness deepens. It has layers, like water has layers, each one darker and quieter than the last. You're sinking through them slowly, so slowly you barely notice you're moving at all. But you are moving. You're falling gently into sleep. Or maybe sleep is rising up to meet you. It's hard to tell the difference, and it doesn't matter anyway. All that matters is this feeling of being held, of being safe, of being exactly where you are. The night stretches out ahead of you like a long, dark road. But you don't have to walk it. You can rest here by the side of it, in this quiet place, while the hours pass by like slow traffic, their lights dimming in the distance. Nothing will disturb you here. Nothing can reach you in this deep, soft darkness. You're protected by the night itself, wrapped in its gentle weight. And you can stay here as long as you need. As long as you want. As long as the darkness lasts. There are rooms inside you that have always been quiet. They've been waiting there, doors slightly open, patient as stones. You've walked past them so many times without noticing. But they're always there, these interior spaces, these chambers of stillness. Tonight you can rest in them. The body is a house with many rooms. Some of them you live in every day, moving through them with familiar steps. Others you've forgotten about, or never knew existed in the first place. But they're all there, all part of the same structure, the same sheltering form. Your heartbeat is a sound in one of these rooms. Steady and low, a rhythm that never stops, never rushes. It's been keeping time since before you had memory. It will keep time long after this particular night has ended. Right now it beats slowly in the darkness, counting something that doesn't need to be counted. The body knows how to do this. It knows how to continue without your attention, how to breathe and pulse and maintain itself while you drift away into sleep. You can trust it to do this work. It's good at it. It's been practicing for a lifetime. Somewhere in the house, a clock is ticking. Or maybe that's just your heartbeat you're hearing. Or maybe there's no difference between the two right now, in this soft collapse of distinctions. Time and body and room and night all blending together into one continuous presence. The air in the room has weight. You can feel it pressing gently against your skin, holding you down in the most comforting way. It's cool but not cold, still but not stagnant. It simply exists, filling the space, being what air has always been. You breathe it in, and it becomes part of you for a moment. Then you release it, and it returns to being room, being night, being the invisible substance that holds all things. There's a rhythm to this exchange that feels older than language. Breath moving in and out like tide, like the slow pulse of something vast and patient. You're part of that pulse now. You've always been part of it. The darkness has texture if you pay attention. It's not uniform, not smooth. It has depth and variation, subtle differences in its density. Near the walls it's thicker, heavier. In the center of the room it's lighter, almost floating. You're lying in it like you're lying in water, suspended between surfaces. Your thoughts have begun to slow down. They move through your mind like clouds moving across a summer sky, lazy and without purpose. One thought drifts in, lingers for a while, then drifts away again. Another takes its place, just as slow, just as aimless. There's no narrative to follow here. No story trying to tell itself. Just fragments of images, half-remembered moments, sensations without names. They come and go like breathing comes and goes. Natural and unforced. The pillow holds the side of your face. It's soft in a way that makes you forget there was ever anything hard in the world. Your cheek sinks into it, finding its place, settling into comfort so complete it becomes invisible. You only notice it when you think about it, and thinking about it takes effort you don't have anymore. So you let it fade back into the general sensation of being held, being supported, being safe. Somewhere far away, someone else is also lying in the dark. They're breathing the same slow rhythm you're breathing. Their room is different, but the darkness is the same. The stillness is the same. We're all inside the same night, the same vast envelope of time between one day and the next, connected by this shared descent into rest. You don't know them and they don't know you, but right now you're doing the same thing, feeling the same weight, sinking into the same soft oblivion. There's a comfort in that, in knowing you're not alone in this most solitary of acts. The house settles around you with its small sounds, wood expanding and contracting in the changing temperature. The distant hum of something mechanical, so quiet you barely register it. These sounds don't mean anything. They're just the house being a house, doing what houses do when no one is paying attention. You're paying attention now, but only barely, only in the most passive way, letting the sounds arrive and depart without holding on to them. Your body has become very heavy. It's pressing into the bed with substantial weight, as if gravity has grown stronger in the last few minutes. Or maybe you've grown heavier. Maybe rest adds weight to things. Maybe stillness has mass. You can feel it pulling you down, deeper into the softness, deeper into the dark. There's no resistance left in you. Nothing holding back. You're giving yourself over to this completely, this pull toward sleep, toward absence, toward the quiet dissolution of waking consciousness. The night outside continues its slow passage. Hours are moving by, though you've lost track of them. Time has become something fluid and uncertain, stretching and compressing in ways that don't follow the rules of clocks. A minute might last forever. An hour might pass in a moment. There's no way to tell anymore, and no reason to try. The darkness takes care of time. It holds all the hours in its vast, soft hands. You can feel the weight of your eyelids now. They've become heavy, so heavy it would take real effort to open them. But there's no need to open them. There's nothing to see that you haven't already seen. The darkness is the same behind your eyes as it is in front of them. So you let them stay closed. Let them seal you into this interior space where images drift by like fish in deep water. Slow and strange and beautiful. Your breathing has found its deepest rhythm now. Long, slow draws of air, pauses that feel like small eternities, gentle releases that empty you completely. Then the cycle begins again, patient as waves, steady as stone. The breath knows its own path. It's walking that path now, and you're just along for the journey. The sheets have become part of your skin. You can't tell anymore where you end and they begin. It's all one continuous surface of warmth and softness. You're wrapped in comfort so complete it feels like you're dissolving into it. Becoming textile. Becoming bed. Becoming room. This is what rest feels like when you stop fighting it. When you let yourself fall completely. When you trust the darkness to hold you. And it does hold you. It always has. It always will. You're safe here in this deep, quiet place. Nothing can reach you. Nothing needs to reach you. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, which is nothing at all. Just being. Just resting. Just letting the night carry you through its long, slow hours toward morning. But morning is far away. So far away it might as well be a dream itself. Right now there is only this. Only the dark. only the stillness, only the gentle, inevitable drift towards sleep. There's a quality to 3 in the morning that no other hour has. The night has reached its deepest point. The world has gone quiet in a way it never quite manages at other times. Even the sound of silence is different now. Thicker somehow. More complete. You might be awake for this, or you might be dreaming it. It's hard to tell the difference at this hour. The boundary between sleeping and waking becomes thin and permeable. You slip back and forth across it without noticing. One moment you're aware of the room around you. The next moment you're somewhere else entirely, somewhere that doesn't quite make sense but feels real anyway. Then you're back, lying in the dark, listening to the nothing. The house is completely still now. All its small settling sounds have stopped. It's found its shape for the night and committed to it, gone silent and solid. You're inside this silence like you're inside a held breath. Everything suspended, everything waiting, but not waiting for anything in particular. Just waiting the way the night waits, patient and purposeless. Your body has melted into the bed. You've been lying here so long that you've become part of the landscape. A feature of the room, like the furniture is a feature, like the walls are a feature. No longer separate from the space around you. Just another element in the composition of this quiet scene. There's a window somewhere in the darkness. You know it's there even though you can't see it. On the other side of that window is more darkness, but a different kind. Darkness that extends for miles. Darkness that covers everything. Inside this room is a small pocket of warmth and safety. Outside is the vast, cold night. But you're not outside. You're here, protected, held by walls and roof and the simple fact of enclosure. The night can be as big as it wants. It doesn't matter. You're in here. Sometimes in the deep part of night, memories surface without being called. They drift up from wherever memories go when you're not using them. Little fragments of other times, other places. A moment from childhood, so small you'd forgotten it existed. The quality of light on a particular afternoon. Someone's voice saying something you can't quite make out. These memories don't connect to anything. They're not trying to tell you something or show you something. They're just there for a moment, vivid and strange, before they sink back down into the dark interior waters. You watch them come and go without attachment. They belong to someone you used to be, someone who lived in different rooms, walked through different hours. That person is still part of you, but distant now, like a relative you haven't seen in years. The darkness behind your eyes has its own geography. There are patterns there if you pay attention, slow-moving shapes that pulse and swirl. Colors that aren't quite colors. Movements that might be inside your eyes or might be inside your mind. It's a landscape that's always there, always changing, always available when you close your eyes and wait. You can travel through this landscape without moving at all. Just lying still, watching the patterns shift and flow. It's the only journey that matters right now. The only place you need to go. Somewhere in the distance, so faint you barely register it, there's a sound. Maybe an animal moving through the dark. Maybe the wind touching something. Maybe nothing at all. The night is full of sounds that might not be real, might just be the sound of silence taking shape, giving itself form. You listen for a moment, then let it go. It doesn't matter what made the sound. It doesn't matter if there was a sound at all. Everything that happens in the night is both real and not real. Present and absent at the same time. Your thoughts have become very simple now. Single words instead of sentences. Images instead of ideas. Darkness. Soft. Quiet. Rest. They arise and dissolve like bubbles on water. Barely there. Already gone. The body is doing its slow work of repair. Cells dividing and mending. Systems balancing themselves. all the invisible processes that keep you alive, that keep you whole. You're not aware of any of this, but it's happening anyway. The body knows its tasks. It performs them faithfully, hour after hour, while you drift through dreams and half-dreams and the spaces between. There's a kind of trust required to sleep. Trust that you'll still be here when morning comes. Trust that the body will keep working while you're gone. Trust that the darkness is safe, that it's holding you rather than erasing you. You've given that trust without thinking about it. You give it every night, over and over, an act of faith so routine you don't recognize it as faith anymore. But it is. Every time you close your eyes and let yourself fall into unconsciousness, you're trusting something larger than yourself. You're saying yes to vulnerability. Yes to the unknown. Yes to the temporary death that is sleep. The night accepts this offering. It always does. It takes your consciousness gently, carefully, and holds it safe until dawn. You're in its care now. Have been for hours. Will be for hours more. The bed has become the whole world. There's nothing beyond its edges, nothing that matters anyway. All of existence has contracted to this small space, this warm pocket of stillness. You're at the center of everything because you're at the center of your own experience. The universe arranges itself around you, here, now, in this moment of deep rest. Tomorrow there will be other centers, other moments. But right now, this is all there is. This quiet, this dark, this slow dissolution into sleep. The hours are passing, but you're not passing with them. You're staying right here, held in place by the weight of your own body, by the gravity of rest. Time moves around you like water moving around a stone in a stream. You're the still point, the constant, the thing that doesn't change while everything else flows by. And in this stillness, in this perfect, complete stillness, there's a kind of freedom. Freedom from needing to be anywhere or do anything. Freedom from time itself. You exist outside the normal rules right now. Suspended in a space where nothing is required of you. Where you can simply be. Simply rest. Simply let the darkness hold you through the long, slow hours until light returns. But light is a long way off. So far away it's not even worth thinking about. Right now there is only night. Deep, soft, endless night. And you at the center of it, quiet as stone, still as water, present and absent at the same time. The body remembers things the mind has forgotten. Old rhythms, ancient patterns. The way to be still without trying. The way to let go without falling apart. These memories live in muscle and bone, in the slow pulse of blood, in the automatic rise and fall of breath. You don't have to remember how to rest. Your body remembers for you. It's remembering now, sinking into patterns older than language, older than thought. Patterns that connect you to everyone who has ever slept, ever rested, ever lay down in the darkness and let the night have them for a while. You're part of a long tradition, though you never think of it that way. An unbroken chain of beings closing their eyes, releasing their hold on the world, trusting the darkness to bring them back. Tonight you're another link in that chain, anonymous and essential. The room around you has its own memory. It remembers every night that's passed within its walls. Every person who's slept here, every dream that's been dreamed, every moment of stillness and rest. These memories soak into the walls like water into wood. They become part of the structure itself. You're adding to that now, contributing your own stillness to the accumulated quiet of all the nights that came before. Your presence here tonight will become part of the room's memory, part of its ongoing story. Long after you're gone, some trace of this moment will remain, invisible but real, woven into the fabric of the space. The darkness has weight and texture and depth. It's not an absence of light, but a presence in itself, something substantial you can almost touch. It presses against your skin like a gentle hand. It fills your ears with its particular silence. It settles over everything like a blanket, soft and heavy and complete. You're inside it now, completely surrounded, held on all sides by this thick, soft darkness. There's nowhere it isn't. No gap or crack where light might leak through. Just darkness extending in every direction, infinite and close at the same time. Your breathing has become so slow it's barely happening. Long gaps between breaths, moments where you forget to breathe at all. Then the body remembers, draws in air without urgency, releases it just as slowly. The rhythm is breaking down into something more elemental, more basic than rhythm. Just occasional movements in the stillness, like wind occasionally moving through a calm day. Mostly there's just the calm. Mostly there's just the stillness. The night outside is doing whatever night does. Moving through its phases, its cycles, its slow transformation from evening to midnight to the deep hours before dawn. But you're not outside. You're here, in this sheltered space, this pocket of warmth and safety. The night can't reach you here. Or maybe you've let it reach you completely. Let it fill you up until there's no difference between the darkness outside and the darkness inside. Until you and the night are the same thing. Both quiet, both vast, both full of nothing and everything at once. There are sounds you can hear when everything else is silent. The sound of your own blood moving through your veins, a distant ocean sound, waves on a far shore. The sound of your heart beating, steady and low, a drum that never stops playing. The sound of air moving through your lungs, a whisper of wind through an empty room. These are the sounds of being alive, the basic functions that continue whether you're paying attention or not. They're always there, always happening, but usually drowned out by everything else. In the deep stillness of night, they come forward. Not loud, never loud, but present, audible, real. They remind you that you're still here, still functioning, still held together by all these invisible processes. Still alive in the middle of all this darkness. The bed knows the shape of you now. It's molded itself to your form, created a perfect impression of your body. You fit into it exactly, like a key in a lock, like something designed for this specific purpose. When you move, even slightly, you can feel the bed responding, adjusting, accommodating the new shape you've made. It's a conversation between your body and the surface beneath you, silent and constant. A negotiation about support and comfort and weight. The bed asks nothing of you except that you rest. And you're giving it that, giving it your full weight, your complete surrender. Time has lost all meaning now. You couldn't say if you've been lying here for minutes or hours. Could be either. Could be both. The night has stretched and warped until it's no longer measurable in the usual ways. It exists outside of clocks, outside of schedules, outside of the normal progression of hours. It's its own thing this night. Vast and slow and impossible to contain in numbers. You're somewhere in the middle of it, floating in its dark center, untethered from time, from obligation, from everything except the simple fact of being. Memories continue to surface and dissolve. Faces of people you used to know. Places you've been that don't exist anymore. Moments so small they never seemed worth remembering. But here they are, vivid and complete, playing out behind your closed eyes. They come without invitation and leave without permission. You're just a witness to them, watching them the way you might watch clouds or waves or anything else that moves through space without needing your involvement. They're beautiful in their randomness, their lack of meaning. They don't connect to anything or explain anything. They're just pieces of a life, your life, scattered through the darkness like stars. The sheets have become indistinguishable from your skin. Warmth has erased the boundary between cloth and flesh. You're wrapped in something that might be sheets or might be your own body heat, folded back on itself. There's no way to tell anymore. No way to separate yourself from what's holding you. Maybe that's what comfort really is. The erasure of boundaries. The blending of self and other until there's just one continuous field of warmth and softness and safety. Your mind is doing less and less now. Thoughts arrive slower, stay shorter, leave quicker. Soon there will be no thoughts at all, just the blank, dark space of deep sleep. But that hasn't happened yet. You're still in this in-between place, this twilight zone where you're not quite awake and not quite asleep, where you can observe yourself resting without interfering with it. It's a peaceful place to be. A good place to stay for a while if you want. There's no rush to move on from it. No deadline for falling asleep completely. You can drift here as long as you need, as long as the night lasts, as long as you want to stay suspended between one state and another. The darkness will wait. The stillness will hold. Everything will remain exactly as it is until you're ready for it to change. And maybe you'll never be ready. Maybe you'll stay here forever, in this perfect, quiet moment. This endless now. This soft, dark, infinite present. There are hallways inside the night that lead nowhere in particular. Long, dim corridors that stretch out in every direction. You can walk them without moving, just by letting your mind drift through the darkness. These hallways are empty and clean and very quiet. Nothing lives in them except the silence itself. Nothing happens in them except the slow passage of time, if time even passes in a place like this. You find yourself in one of these hallways now, or maybe you've been here all along. The walls are a color you can't quite name, something between gray and blue, something that looks like dusk feels. They extend infinitely in both directions, parallel lines that never converge, never end. The floor is smooth under your feet, cool but not cold. You're walking or you're still, it's impossible to tell. Movement and stillness feel the same here. Ahead of you the hallway continues, unchanged and unchanging. Behind you it's exactly the same. There's no difference between forward and backward, between going and staying. Every direction is the same direction. Every step is the same step. You could walk forever and never arrive anywhere. Or you could stand completely still and arrive at the same place. This is a space outside of space, a time outside of time. The rules don't apply here. Nothing needs to make sense. Doors line the hallway at regular intervals, though you never actually see them. You just know they're there, the way you know things in dreams. Behind each door is a different darkness, a different quality of silence. You could open them if you wanted, but you don't want to. You're content to stay in the hallway, walking its impossible length, going nowhere slowly and steadily. Sometimes there are windows, though there's nothing outside them but more darkness. A deeper darkness, thicker and more complete than the darkness of the hallway itself. You can feel it pressing against the glass, trying to get in, but the windows hold. They keep the inside inside and the outside outside. You're safe here in this transitional space, this passage between rooms that don't exist. The air in the hallway is perfectly still. It hasn't moved in a long time, maybe never. It just sits there, occupying space, being air without doing any of the things air usually does. No breeze, no current, no circulation. Just presence. Just the fact of atmosphere, the minimum requirement for a space to be a space. You breathe it anyway, in and out, even though it feels like you're breathing the same air over and over. Like there's only one breath in the whole hallway, and you're sharing it with the silence, passing it back and forth between you. Your footsteps make no sound. Or they make the exact sound footsteps should make, but the hallway absorbs it instantly, doesn't let it echo or carry or persist for even a moment. Each step exists only in the instant it's made, then vanishes completely, leaving no trace. You could walk here for hours and leave no evidence of your passage. The hallway would be exactly as it was before you entered it, unchanged and untouched. Time is doing something strange here. It might be moving forward, or it might be standing still, or it might be moving in several directions at once. There's no way to tell without a reference point, and there are no reference points in this place. Nothing changes, nothing ages, nothing marks the passage of moments from one to the next. You could have been walking for seconds or centuries. Both are equally possible. Both feel equally true. The walls have a texture you can almost feel without touching them. Smooth but not slick, solid but somehow yielding. They give the impression of being slightly soft, as if you could push your hand into them and they would accept it, make space for it without breaking or tearing. But you don't try. You keep your hands at your sides, keep walking, keep existing in this quiet, liminal space. Ahead of you, the hallway curves slightly, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's perfectly straight, and it's your perception that's curving, bending around the edges of consciousness. Either way, you follow it, trusting it to take you wherever it's going, even if that's nowhere. Especially if that's nowhere. Nowhere is a good destination right now. Nowhere is exactly where you want to be. The ceiling is up there somewhere, though you never look directly at it. You can sense it, the way you can sense the top of a room, even in complete darkness. It completes the space, puts a boundary on the upward direction, keeps the hallway from opening into infinite vertical expanse. It's doing its job quietly and well, like everything else here. Just being what it is without fuss or decoration. You notice you're not tired anymore. Or maybe you're more tired than you've ever been. It's hard to distinguish between the two states in this place. They might be the same thing, just viewed from different angles. Exhaustion and rest blending together until they're indistinguishable. Until they're both just different words for the same deep, quiet feeling. The hallway accepts you without judgment. It doesn't care how long you stay or where you came from or where you're going. It's just here, existing, providing passage, holding space. You can rest here as long as you need. You can walk here forever if you want. Or you can turn around and walk back the way you came, though back looks exactly like forward, so it wouldn't really be turning around at all. It would just be continuing. The light here, if you can call it light, comes from nowhere and everywhere at once. It's not bright enough to illuminate anything clearly, just bright enough to suggest shapes, to hint at boundaries. It creates a perpetual twilight, an eternal dusk that never resolves into darkness or day. You exist in this soft, gray luminescence, neither hidden nor revealed. Neither alone nor accompanied. Just present. Just here. Just walking through the infinite, gentle hallway of the deep night. And somewhere ahead or behind or all around is a room where you're lying down. A bed where your body rests. A darkness that holds you safe. This hallway is inside that darkness, or the darkness is inside this hallway. They contain each other somehow. They're the same space viewed from different angles of consciousness. You're in both places at once, lying still and walking slowly. Resting and journeying. Here and elsewhere. The hallway continues. It always continues. That's what hallways do. They keep going until something stops them, and nothing stops them here. So they just go on and on and on, through the night, through the silence, through the soft gray nothing that fills the space between waking and sleep. And you go with them, steady and slow, a figure in the distance of your own mind, walking deeper into rest with every step that isn't really a step at all. The night has its own architecture. Rooms within rooms, spaces that fold into other spaces. You move through them without moving, just by being still enough, quiet enough, deep enough in rest. There's a room made entirely of breath. Its walls expand and contract with your breathing, steady and slow. In and out, in and out. The whole space pulses gently, alive in the most basic way. You're inside this room now, or you've been inside it all along. You and the breathing are the same thing. There's no separation between the breath and the space it creates. They make each other. They hold each other in being. The air here is thick and warm, like being inside a cloud, like being inside your own lungs. It's intimate in a way that should be uncomfortable but isn't. It's just another form of stillness, another way of being held. You breathe and the room breathes with you. One rhythm, one movement, one slow cycle repeating endlessly. In another room, time is pooled on the floor like water. It's ankle-deep, cool against your feet. You can feel it flowing around you, slow as honey, thick as mercury. It moves but doesn't go anywhere, just circulates through the space, a current with no destination. You stand in it and let it flow past you, through you. Minutes and hours dissolving into each other, becoming one continuous substance. You can't tell anymore which direction time is flowing. Forward or backward, or both at once. It doesn't seem to matter. The room doesn't care. The time just keeps pooling, keeps flowing, keeps being time without needing to go anywhere or do anything. There's a room made of shadows. Not darkness, exactly, but the absence left behind when things move. The ghost of presence. The memory of form. You walk through these shadows and they part for you like silk curtains, closing behind you after you pass. They're soft and cool and slightly sad, the way shadows always are. But it's a gentle sadness, one that doesn't hurt. Just a reminder that everything that exists also doesn't exist, also leaves its shape in the air, also creates emptiness around itself. The shadows don't mind being shadows. They're good at it. They've been doing it forever. You're a shadow too, here in this room. A moving absence, a shape defined by what's not there rather than what is. And that's fine. That's exactly right. In the room of echoes, every sound returns to you changed. Your heartbeat comes back as a whisper. Your breath returns as music. The soft sound of your body shifting returns as a voice, speaking words you almost understand. This room is listening to you more carefully than you're listening to yourself. It hears things you don't know you're saying. It reflects back the parts of you that are too quiet to notice normally. You could stay here for a long time, learning what you sound like from the outside, learning what echoes you leave in the world. But you move on, the way you always move on in dreams, transitioning without transition, finding yourself suddenly in the next space without having traveled there. The room of weight is where gravity works differently. Here, heaviness is comfort and lightness is strange. You feel yourself pressing down with tremendous force, but the floor doesn't give, doesn't break, doesn't complain. It accepts your weight completely, takes all of it without effort. You're being held by the simple strength of the floor, by its willingness to bear you up. You could sleep here, you think. You could let all your weight go and trust the floor to hold it. And maybe you do. Maybe you've been doing that all along. Maybe every room you've visited tonight is just another version of lying down, another angle of approach to the same deep rest. In the room of distance, everything is far away. The walls are miles off in every direction. The ceiling is impossibly high, lost in its own height. You're a small thing in a vast space, tiny and alone and somehow completely safe. The distance doesn't threaten you. It gives you room. Room to be small. Room to be insignificant. Room to not matter for a while. You float in the center of this enormous room, suspended by nothing, held by the sheer volume of empty space around you. And it feels good. It feels right. To be small in something large. To be a single point in an infinite expanse. The room of repetition shows you the same thing over and over. A moment that happened earlier today, or yesterday, or 10 years ago. It plays on loop, unchanging, perfect in its consistency. You watch it again and again, and each time it's slightly different because you're slightly different. The moment stays the same, but your relationship to it shifts, deepens, becomes more complex. You understand it better with each repetition, or you understand it less, or you understand that understanding isn't the point. The point is the watching. The point is the being present to something that was present once before. The room of forgetting is empty. You enter it and immediately forget why you came, forget what you were looking for, forget even that you're in a room. There's just this pleasant blankness, this soft erasure of everything that seemed important a moment ago. It's a relief to forget, to let all the accumulated weight of memory and knowledge fall away for a while. To just be here without history, without context, without the burden of all those things you're supposed to remember. The room holds your forgetting gently. It doesn't judge it or try to fix it. It lets you be empty, lets you be nothing, lets you rest in the space between thoughts. And finally, there's the room you started in, the room where your body lies. The real room, if any of them are real. The one with the bed and the walls and the window looking out onto the night. You return to it without having left. Find yourself back in your body without having gone anywhere. The journey was all internal, all imaginary, all real. You've been here the whole time, lying still, breathing slowly, sinking deeper into rest with each moment that passes. The rooms were just different ways of experiencing the same stillness. Different angles of approach to the same deep, quiet center. You're at that center now. You've arrived without traveling. You're home without having been away. The night holds all these rooms inside it, all these spaces and more. Infinite architectures of rest, infinite ways of being still. You can visit them any time you want, just by closing your eyes and letting yourself sink into the darkness. They're always here, always waiting, always ready to receive you into their quiet depths. The dark has been here longer than anything else. Before the first star lit, before the first word was spoken, before anything that became something began its slow transformation from nothing. The dark was already here, patient and complete, waiting for things to exist so it could hold them. You're resting in something ancient now, something that was here before you and will be here after you. The dark doesn't belong to anyone. It's shared by everything that exists. Every creature that sleeps, sleeps in the same darkness. Every eye that closes, closes into the same soft absence of light. You're part of that now, part of the great collective of beings resting in the dark, scattered across the planet, all of you held by the same night. The darkness is good at holding things. It's had a lot of practice. Millions of years of practice, billions of years, time periods so long they stop meaning anything. They just become forever. The dark has been holding things forever. It knows how. It knows the right pressure, the right weight, the right way to cradle something without crushing it. You can trust the dark. It's held everything that's ever existed. It will hold you too, carefully and well. Your bones are resting inside your body. They've carried you all day, supported your weight, given structure to your movements. Now they're still, lined up inside you like the framework of a house. Strong and quiet and patient. Your bones know how to rest. They've been doing it every night of your life, becoming heavy, settling into place, releasing the tension of the day. You don't have to tell them what to do. They remember. Your muscles have softened around your bones. They're not holding anything anymore, not gripping or tensing or working. They're just there, draped over your skeleton like warm cloth. Loose and heavy and completely at ease. There's no resistance left in them, no readiness for action. Just the simple presence of tissue, blood warm and still. The body is so good at this. At letting go, at becoming heavy, at surrendering to rest. It doesn't need instructions. It doesn't need encouragement. It just does what it knows how to do, what it's been doing since the beginning, since the first night you ever slept. Your heartbeat has slowed to its resting rhythm. Strong but quiet, a steady pulse in the darkness. It's been beating for so long without stopping, without missing a beat, without taking a break. It will beat for the rest of your life, faithful and tireless. Right now it beats slowly, calmly, counting time in the most basic way. One beat after another, steady as stone, reliable as the turning of the earth. You don't have to think about your heartbeat. It thinks about itself. It knows its job, and it does it well, hour after hour, through sleeping and waking, through rest and activity. It's always there, always working, always keeping you alive with its simple, repetitive motion. The blood in your veins is moving slowly now. Thick and warm, it flows through its familiar pathways, bringing oxygen to your tissues, carrying away waste, maintaining the balance that keeps you functioning. It's a river inside you, dark and slow and essential. You can almost feel it sometimes, that slow internal tide, that gentle circulation that never stops, never rests, never gives up its constant motion through the darkness of your body. Your skin is the boundary between you and the night. It's where you stop and everything else begins. But that boundary is softer than it seems. Warmth passes through it. Air passes through it. You're not as separate as you think. You're porous, permeable, constantly exchanging substance with the world around you. Breath moving in and out. Heat radiating from your surface. Moisture evaporating into the air. You're in constant dialogue with the space around you, giving and receiving, blending at the edges, less distinct than you imagine. The darkness presses against your skin like a soft hand. It touches every part of you at once, gentle and complete. You're wrapped in it, surrounded by it, held by its cool, soft presence. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't press too hard. It's just there, touching you the way air touches you, constant and careful and kind. You've been lying here so long that the room has become part of you. Or you've become part of the room. The distinction has blurred, become meaningless. You're both things now, both body and space, both presence and absence. A person-shaped area of stillness in the larger stillness of the night. The bed beneath you has disappeared. You can't feel it anymore as separate from yourself. There's just this continuous support, this unwavering presence holding you up. Gravity pulls you down and something pushes back up with exactly the same force, keeping you suspended in perfect balance. You're weightless and heavy at the same time, floating and pressed down, both and neither. The ceiling above you, invisible in the dark, is doing its patient work of being a ceiling, keeping the sky out, keeping you in, defining the upper limit of this small, warm space. You trust it to stay where it is, to not fall, to keep doing what ceilings do. And it does. It always has. It probably always will. The walls around you, equally invisible, hold their positions exactly. They're not moving, not shifting, not changing in any way. They're just there, solid and still, creating the container that holds this moment, this room, this particular instance of rest. Everything is in its place. Everything is as it should be. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to move. Everything can just stay exactly as it is, frozen in this perfect moment of stillness, this deep, quiet now that extends in all directions, that includes everything. That is everything. You're at the center of it all, the still point around which nothing turns. The one constant in a world of motion. And in this stillness, in this complete and total stillness, something loosens. Some final knot of tension you didn't know you were holding. Some last bit of resistance to the night, to the dark, to the deep and necessary surrender of sleep. It loosens and unravels and falls away. And you fall with it, finally, completely, into the soft and endless dark. There's a place in sleep where you forget you're sleeping, where dreams feel like waking and waking feels like dreams. You might be there now. You might have been there for hours. The images that move through your mind aren't quite stories. They're more like feelings that have found shapes. Emotions dressed up in scenery. Memories wearing different faces. They drift past slowly, unhurried, asking nothing of you. You can watch them or ignore them. They'll keep moving either way, on their way to wherever unfinished dreams go. There's a blue room somewhere. Walls the color of early morning, before the sun has really arrived. That soft, uncertain color that could be gray or blue, or the space between them. You're in this room, or you're remembering being in this room, or you're inventing it right now as you think about it. The furniture is simple and distant. A chair by a window, a table holding nothing, objects that exist mainly to fill space, to give the room a sense of being occupied even when it's empty. The window looks out onto something you can't quite see. Maybe a garden, maybe a street, maybe just more blue, extending forever. It doesn't matter. The window is there to divide inside from outside, not to show you anything. You sit in the chair, or you stand by the window, or you're lying down somewhere looking at the ceiling. Your position keeps changing without you moving. Dream logic, where everything is fluid and nothing stays fixed. Where you can be in 3 places at once, and also nowhere at all. Time is strange here. It pools in the corners like light, gathers around objects, makes some moments last forever while others blink past in an instant. You've been in this room for hours or seconds. Both feel true. Both are true in the way things are true in dreams. Someone is speaking in another room. You can hear the voice but not the words. A low murmur, steady and calm, like someone telling a story or reading aloud or just talking to themselves. It's a comforting sound, even though you don't understand it. Even though you're not sure if it's real or remembered or completely imagined. The voice continues, patient and unhurried, saying something that might be important or might be nothing at all. You listen without trying to understand. You let the words wash over you like water, like breath, like any other element of the room. They're part of the atmosphere now, part of the texture of this place. You don't need to know what they mean. The floor beneath your feet is cool and smooth. You can feel it even though you might not have feet here, might not have a body at all. But the sensation is there anyway, the cool pressure, the solid support. The floor knows how to hold things. It's been holding things longer than you've been alive. It will hold things long after you've forgotten this dream, this room, this particular arrangement of blue light and distant voices. You move through the room like smoke, like thought, like anything that doesn't have solid form. Drifting from one place to another without walking, without effort, without the normal rules of physics applying. This is the freedom of dreams. You can be anywhere by thinking of being there. You can do anything by imagining it done. There are no obstacles here except the ones you create. And you're too tired to create obstacles. You're too deep in rest to resist anything. So you just flow, easy and light, through the blue room and into the hallway beyond it. The hallway is dim and long, like all hallways in dreams. It stretches out impossibly far in both directions, lined with doors that lead to other rooms, other dreams, other versions of this same moment. You could open any of them. You could walk through and find yourself somewhere completely different. But you don't. You're content to stay in the hallway, in this in-between space, not quite in any room but adjacent to all of them. Available. Waiting. Patient as the darkness itself. The air here is thick with possibility. Things could happen, but they don't need to. Stories could begin, but they don't have to go anywhere. It's enough to just be here, in this space where potential exists without requiring fulfillment, where you can rest in the idea of things without ever having to experience their reality. You hear water somewhere. Not close, but not far either. A steady sound like rain on a roof or a stream moving over stones. It's been there all along, you realize. You just weren't paying attention to it until now. The sound of water is the sound of continuation. Things moving, flowing, going on and on without stopping. It's a peaceful sound, hypnotic in its constancy. You could listen to it forever and never get bored. It's the sound of time passing. The sound of things happening without drama or urgency. The sound of the world continuing to be the world, whether you're paying attention or not. You follow the sound, or it follows you. The hallway curves, or you curve through the hallway. Cause and effect have become tangled, impossible to separate. Everything happens at once and also in sequence. Linear and circular at the same time. The water sound grows louder, closer, more distinct. You're approaching it, or it's approaching you. And then you're there, wherever there is. A room with water running down the walls in thin sheets, clear and steady. The water doesn't pool on the floor. It just disappears, absorbed by whatever is beneath, whatever holds this space together. The sound is everywhere now, surrounding you, filling your ears with its gentle, continuous rush. You could be inside a waterfall. You could be underwater. You could be the water itself, flowing and falling and going nowhere, just moving for the sake of movement. Your body, if you still have a body here, feels liquid. Bones like water, muscles like water, skin like the surface tension of water. You're not solid anymore. You're not fixed in any particular form. You're just here, present and fluid, taking the shape of whatever space you're in. This is what deep sleep feels like. This dissolution of boundaries. This softening of edges. This gentle forgetting of where you end and the world begins. It's not frightening. It's a relief. To not have to hold your shape for a while. To not have to be contained in skin and bone and definite form. To just be, without the burden of being any particular thing. The water room fades, or you fade, or you both fade together into something else. Another space, another quality of darkness, another corner of the vast, soft night. You're still resting. You've been resting this whole time. All these rooms, all these images, all these slow transformations are just rest taking different forms. Just sleep showing you its many faces. You don't have to follow them or understand them. You just have to let them happen, let them carry you deeper into the dark, deeper into the soft and necessary forgetting that brings you back to yourself, empty and new, when morning finally comes. But morning is still far away. So far that it might as well not exist. Right now there is only this. Only the dream. Only the slow drift through images and rooms and moments that blend into each other like colors in water, distinct and merged at the same time. You're safe here. You've always been safe here. The dream knows how to hold you. Somewhere in the deep part of night, you remember breathing for the first time. Not your first breath as a baby, though that memory is in there somewhere, folded into cells, written in tissue. This is a different first time. The first time tonight that you noticed you were breathing. The first moment you became aware of air moving in and out, the simple machine of your lungs doing their endless work. In and out. In and out. The breath is older than you are. It's been breathing through bodies since bodies first learned how. Your particular breath is new, happening right now, unique to this moment. But the act of breathing is ancient, connecting you to every breathing thing that has ever lived. You're doing what they all did. Drawing air into the soft interior spaces, letting it feed your blood, releasing it back into the world changed. You take from the air and give back to the air. A constant exchange, a conversation without words. Your body is having this conversation on your behalf, tireless and faithful, asking nothing in return but the air itself. The darkness around you is full of air. More air than you could ever breathe. It fills the room completely, presses into every corner, occupies every space not already occupied by solid things. You're swimming in it, floating in it, held up by its invisible pressure. The air is holding you as much as the bed is, supporting you from all sides, touching every part of you at once. You breathe it in, and it becomes part of you. Part of your blood, part of your cells, part of the machinery that keeps you alive. Then you breathe it out, and it becomes separate again, becomes room, becomes night, becomes the shared atmosphere that connects all breathing things. You're not alone in this. Somewhere near you, someone else is breathing. Somewhere far away, millions of others are breathing. The same air moving through different bodies, the same basic motion repeated endlessly. All of you inhaling and exhaling, taking turns with the oxygen, keeping each other alive without knowing it. The breath makes a soft sound as it moves through you. Not loud, barely audible, just a whisper of air passing over tissue. It's the sound of being alive, the sound of continuation, the sound of a body doing what bodies do, maintaining themselves through simple, repetitive actions that never stop, never rest, never give up their patient work. You could listen to this sound forever. The soft music of your own breathing, the rhythm that's been playing since you were born and will play until you die. It's a comforting sound, familiar and constant. It reminds you that you're still here, still functioning, still held in the basic contract of life. Your body knows how to breathe in sleep. It keeps going even when you're not paying attention, even when you're deep in dreams, even when you've forgotten you have a body at all. The breath continues, autonomous and reliable. You can trust it to do its work while you rest, while you drift through the soft, dark hours toward morning. The inhale brings coolness into you. Air from the room, slightly cooler than your body, flowing in through nose and throat and down into lungs. It spreads through your chest, fills the empty spaces, expands your ribs slightly. Your body takes what it needs from this air. Oxygen molecules crossing into blood, joining the slow circulation, traveling to all the distant territories of your body, feeding cells, enabling reactions, keeping the quiet fire of metabolism burning. Then the exhale, warmer now. Air heated by your body, changed by its passage through you, flowing back out into the room. You're warming the air with every breath, adding your heat to the space around you, making the room a degree warmer, a fraction more humid. Your presence changes the environment just by being here, just by breathing. The rhythm of breathing is close to the rhythm of waves. Water moving onto shore, then sliding back. A gentle, endless repetition, the same motion in slightly different form each time. The breath is like that. Each inhale is the same as the last, but also unique, carrying slightly different air, filling your lungs slightly differently. No two breaths are identical, but they're all recognizable as breath. All part of the same pattern, the same essential motion. Between breaths there's a pause. A moment of stillness where nothing is happening, where your body rests between efforts. These pauses are getting longer as you sink deeper into sleep. Seconds of perfect stillness where you're neither breathing in nor breathing out. Just being. Just existing in the gap between one breath and the next. These are the quietest moments. The most still. In these pauses, you're closer to not being than being. Closer to the darkness than to yourself. You rest in these gaps like you rest in sleep itself. A temporary absence, a small practice for the larger absence that will come someday. But that's far away. Right now you come back from each pause, take another breath, continue the pattern. The body isn't ready to stop yet. It has more breathing to do, more nights to get through, more air to process. So it continues its work, patient and thorough, breath after breath after breath. The air you're breathing has been breathed before. Molecules that were in other lungs, other bodies, other times. The air is recycled constantly, shared by everything, passed around like a communal treasure. You're breathing the same air that was breathed by people who lived centuries ago. The same air that will be breathed by people who don't exist yet. You're part of a vast temporal collaboration, connected to past and future through this simple act of breathing. Your chest rises and falls in the darkness. A gentle motion, barely visible even if there were light to see by. But it's there, constant and real. The physical proof that you're still here, still alive, still participating in the basic functions of being. Each rise is an affirmation. Each fall is a release. Together they make a statement that needs no words. I am. I am here. I am breathing. I am alive in this moment, this darkness, this soft and endless night. The breath carries you deeper into rest. Each exhale is a letting go, a surrender, a step further into sleep. You're breathing yourself into deeper states of consciousness or unconsciousness. Using the breath as a vehicle, a method of descent. Down and down and down into the soft, dark depths where real rest lives. And the breath goes with you, faithful companion, never leaving, never stopping. Always there, always moving, always maintaining the basic rhythm that keeps you tethered to life, even as you drift far from waking. The breath is a thread connecting you to the world. As long as you're breathing, you're still here. Still part of things. Still woven into the fabric of the night. The hours have become indistinguishable from each other. One flows into the next without announcement, without boundary. The night is a single continuous thing now, not divided into segments or measured in increments. Just one long, soft darkness that holds everything. You've been still for so long that stillness has become your natural state. Motion seems strange, impossible, something that belongs to another world. Your body has forgotten how to move, or it's decided that moving isn't necessary. Everything required can happen right here, in this exact position, in this perfect arrangement of limbs and weight and contact with surface. You've achieved a kind of equilibrium, the balance point between all forces, where nothing pulls you in any direction, where you can simply exist without adjustment or effort. This is the deepest rest. Not sleep exactly, but something adjacent to sleep. A state where you're present but not active, conscious but not thinking, aware but not engaged. Just existing at the bottom of a deep, quiet well. The darkness is complete now. There's no variation in it anymore, no lighter or darker areas. It's achieved a perfect uniformity, a total saturation of the space. This is what blindness must feel like. Not seeing black, but seeing nothing. The complete absence of visual information. Your eyes are open or closed, it makes no difference. There's nothing to see either way. The darkness has erased all distinction between inner and outer vision. They've become the same thing, the same featureless void. Sound has almost disappeared too. The ambient noise of the house has faded to nearly nothing. Just the faintest suggestion of sound, so quiet you might be imagining it. The whisper of your own breath. The distant pulse of your heartbeat. These tiny sounds are all that remain, the last evidence that anything is happening at all. The world has contracted to this small set of sensations. Breath and heartbeat and the pressure of surface against skin. Everything else has fallen away, become irrelevant, joined the vast category of things that don't matter right now. And most things don't matter right now. Most things never matter, if you're honest about it. They seem important at the time, urgent and necessary, but then night comes and they dissolve back into the darkness they came from. All the concerns and worries and plans, all the thoughts that filled your day, they're nowhere now. Gone as completely as if they never existed. The night erases them. The darkness absorbs them. And you're left with just this. Just being. Just the simple fact of existing without the complicated layers that usually accompany it. You're reduced to your most basic elements now. A breathing thing. A warm thing. A thing that takes up space and has weight and continues to be here, moment after moment, for no reason except that it hasn't stopped being here yet. This is all you need to be. This is all anyone needs to be, really. The rest is decoration, distraction, noise piled on top of the fundamental simplicity of existence. But here now, in the deep stillness of the night, the decorations have all been stripped away. You're down to the essential core, the irreducible minimum of what it means to be. And it's enough. It's more than enough. It's everything. The bed has become indistinguishable from your body. The sheets have merged with your skin. The pillow has become your head. There are no boundaries anymore, no clear divisions between self and other. You're part of the furniture now, part of the room, part of the house. A permanent fixture, settling in for the duration. Your weight has pressed into the mattress so completely that you've made a perfect impression of yourself. A person-shaped hollow that couldn't hold anyone else. This space is yours now, marked by your presence, defined by your form. You belong here as completely as anything has ever belonged anywhere. Time has stopped meaning anything. It might be midnight or 3 in the morning or 5. It might be the same minute repeating over and over. It might be moving backward for all you know. The darkness gives no indication. The stillness provides no clues. You're suspended in a timeless moment that could last seconds or centuries, and you'd never know the difference. This is eternity, maybe. Not the endless extension of time, but the complete absence of it. The place outside of time where nothing changes because there's no time in which to change. Where everything stays exactly as it is forever, because forever and now are the same thing. You could stay here. You could remain in this moment indefinitely, never moving forward, never going back, just existing in this perfect, still present. Part of you wants that. Part of you wants to stop time here, to make this moment last, to never have to return to the world of motion and light and all the complicated requirements of being awake. But another part knows you can't. Knows that morning will come whether you want it to or not. Knows that the stillness is temporary, that motion will return, that the night is just a pause in the ongoing story of being alive. But that's okay. That's how it should be. The stillness is precious exactly because it doesn't last. The rest is valuable because it's temporary. You get to have this for a while, this deep, complete cessation of everything. And then you have to give it back, return to the world, pick up the threads of your life again. But not yet. Not for hours still. The night has more to give you. More stillness to offer. More darkness to hold you in its soft, careful hands. So you stay. You rest. You let the hours pass over you like water, like wind, like anything that moves while you remain perfectly, completely still. Nothing is required of you. Nothing is expected. You can just be here, in this deep pocket of quiet, this sheltered moment, this soft and endless now. The darkness holds you. The stillness surrounds you. The night continues its patient work of being night. And you continue your patient work of being at rest, being still, being nothing more or less than a small point of warmth and breath in the vast, soft darkness. In the last hours of night, something shifts. Not dramatically, not obviously, but something changes in the quality of the darkness. It's still dark, still complete, but there's a sense of the darkness beginning to thin at its edges. A awareness, too subtle to name, that the night has reached its deepest point and is now, almost imperceptibly, beginning its long, slow ascent back toward light. But that's far off still. Hours away. Right now it's just a feeling, a slight change in the texture of things. The darkness is still in charge, still holding everything in its soft grip. But it knows its time is limited. It knows it's temporary. And maybe that makes it gentler somehow, more careful with what it holds. You've been sleeping or resting or existing in that space between the two for so long now that you've forgotten what waking feels like. The idea of being fully conscious, fully alert, seems absurd, impossible. That's something that happens to other people, in other times. Not to you, not here, not now. You're a creature of the night now. A thing that exists only in darkness, only in stillness, only in this deep, soft state of being. The rest of you, the waking you, the you that moves and talks and does things, that person is gone. Maybe they'll come back eventually, but right now they don't exist. Right now there's only this. Only the breathing, the heartbeat, the weight, the warmth. Only the simple, persistent fact of being here, being alive, being held by the darkness. The house around you is at its quietest. The small sounds it was making earlier have all stopped. It's found its final configuration for the night, settled completely into its form, and now it simply exists, solid and silent, doing its job of being shelter without fuss or announcement. You're grateful for the house, for these walls, for this roof, for the simple fact of being inside when outside is so vast and dark and cold. The house is a gift you usually take for granted, but right now, in this moment of deep rest, you can feel what it's doing for you. Holding the weather out, keeping you warm, providing a small, defined space in which to exist. Without it, you'd be lost in the vastness of the night, unprotected and alone. But you're not alone. You're here, safe, held by wood and stone and all the human effort that went into making this place. Somewhere in your body, cellular processes are continuing. Proteins are being synthesized. Damaged tissues are being repaired. Memories are being consolidated, organized, stored. The body does its best work at night, when the conscious mind is out of the way. It tidies up, fixes things, prepares for the next day. All without your knowledge or permission. You don't have to supervise this work. You don't have to check on it or worry about it. The body knows what it's doing. It's been doing this for as long as you've been alive, taking care of the maintenance, the repairs, the endless small adjustments required to keep you functioning. You can trust it to do this work. You can rest completely, knowing you're being taken care of from the inside out. Your brain is different in sleep. Waves of electrical activity sweep across it in slow, synchronized patterns. Not the quick, chaotic firing of waking consciousness, but something slower, more organized, more rhythmic. These slow waves wash through your brain like tides, carrying away the debris of the day, clearing space for tomorrow. They're cleaning you, these waves, making room in your mind for new experiences, new memories, new thoughts. The brain can only hold so much at once, and sleep is when it decides what to keep and what to let go. What matters and what doesn't. What needs to be remembered and what can fade away. This sorting happens without your input. You can't control what you remember or forget. The sleeping brain makes these decisions according to its own mysterious criteria. Some things that seemed important during the day will be gone by morning. Some things you barely noticed will become permanent fixtures of memory. There's no logic to it, no clear pattern. Just the brain doing what brains do, organizing experience in ways that make sense to it if not to you. The dreams have mostly stopped now, or you've sunk below the level where dreams happen. Down into the deepest sleep, the most complete rest, the place where there's no story, no images, no experience at all. Just absence. Just the blank, dark nothing that is the deepest form of sleep. This is the most restorative rest. The kind that actually rebuilds you, that lets you wake up feeling new. You're down in it now, deep in the void, gone as completely as a person can be while still being alive. Hours might pass without you having a single thought, a single sensation, a single moment of awareness. You're as close to not existing as you can get without actually crossing that line. And it's good. It's necessary. This complete erasure, this temporary death, is what lets you live. Without it, without this nightly dissolution into nothing, you couldn't continue. The body would wear out. The mind would break. You need this forgetting, this absence, this periodic return to the void from which you came. The night outside is doing its own slow work. The earth is turning, carrying your part of it away from the sun, through the shadow it casts on itself, and slowly, incrementally, back around toward light. This turning happens whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're asleep or awake. The planet doesn't need your attention to do what it does. It just keeps spinning, patient and constant, bringing day and night and day and night in endless succession. You're a passenger on this turning planet, riding through space, through time, through the alternation of light and dark. Right now you're on the dark side, the night side, the side turned away from the sun. But you're moving toward light. Slowly, inevitably, you're being carried back toward morning. The stars are still out there, burning. Billions of them, scattered across distances too vast to comprehend. They've been burning for billions of years, some of them. They'll burn for billions more. Your whole life is less than a blink to them. Less than a moment. They were here long before you, and they'll be here long after you're gone. But right now, in this moment, you share the night with them. You're both here, both part of the darkness, both held by the same vast space. You're connected to them in some fundamental way, made of the same elements, subject to the same physical laws. The atoms in your body were forged in stars like them, scattered through space when those stars died, eventually gathering into planets, into life, into you. You're made of star stuff, as someone once said. You're the universe looking at itself, conscious matter wondering about its own existence. And right now, that conscious matter is resting, taking a break from wondering, letting itself be matter without the burden of consciousness. Just atoms arranged in a particular pattern, held together by forces that don't require awareness, existing in the same fundamental way that stars exist, that planets exist, that anything exists. No more, no less. Just being. Just here. Just part of the vast, dark, beautiful universe, resting in its own arms, held by its own gravity, contained by its own laws. The night will end eventually. Light will return. The world will demand your attention again. But that's still hours away, a whole section of time yet to be crossed. For now, you can stay here. Stay deep. Stay still. Let the darkness hold you a while longer. Let the night finish its work. Let yourself be nothing but a small point of warmth in the vast, soft darkness, breathing slowly, existing quietly, at peace in the deep and necessary stillness. The darkness is beginning to change now, though you might not notice. It's still dark, still complete, but somewhere far away, beyond your awareness, the first subtle shifts are beginning. The night has been here for hours, doing its patient work, holding the world in stillness. Now it's beginning, very slowly, to release its grip. You're still resting deep, still held in the soft embrace of sleep or something like it. The last hours of night are the most still, the most complete. Everything has settled as far as it can settle. Everything has gone as deep as it can go. This is the bottom of the night, the darkest hour, the place where rest is most complete. Your body knows this is the deepest part, the safest part. It's let go of everything now, released every last bit of tension, surrendered completely to the stillness. You're as vulnerable as you ever get, as open, as undefended. But you're safe. The night protects its own. It holds everyone who sleeps with the same gentle care, the same patient attention. You're one of millions resting right now, scattered across the dark side of the planet. All of you breathing slowly, dreaming quietly, existing in that same deep state of rest. Connected by the darkness, by the shared experience of surrender, by the simple fact of being alive and asleep at the same moment. The sheets have become perfectly warm now. They've absorbed all the heat your body has given them and are giving it back in a gentle exchange. This is the best warmth, the kind that comes from your own body, cycled through fabric and returned. It's yours and not yours at the same time. A shared warmth, a collaboration between body and bed. You're wrapped in it completely, insulated from the cooler air of the room, held in a pocket of perfect temperature. Nothing is too hot or too cold. Everything is exactly right. This is what comfort feels like when it's complete, when there's nothing left to adjust or improve. Your breathing has reached its slowest rhythm. Long, deep breaths spaced far apart, with pauses between that seem to last forever. Your body is barely using any oxygen now, running on the minimum, conserving energy, resting as deeply as a living body can rest. The breath comes when it's needed, not before. No hurry, no urgency, just the slow cycle of air moving in and out, keeping you alive with minimal effort. This is efficiency perfected. The body doing exactly what needs to be done and nothing more. Every system running at its lowest possible setting while still maintaining the essential functions of life. You're idling like an engine at rest, ready to start up again when needed, but for now just maintaining presence, just persisting, just being here without doing anything. The darkness holds you like hands hold water. Gently, carefully, allowing you to be what you are without trying to shape you or change you. Just holding, just containing, just providing the space in which you can exist. This is what the night does best. It doesn't demand anything. It doesn't ask questions. It doesn't need you to be anything other than what you are. It just holds you softly and completely through all the hours until light returns. You've traveled so far tonight, through so many rooms and spaces and states of consciousness. Or you haven't moved at all, just stayed exactly where you are, in this bed, in this room, in this body. Both are true somehow. You've journeyed and stayed still, moved and rested, gone deep while remaining exactly where you started. This is the paradox of sleep, of rest, of the inner journey that happens when the body is motionless. You can travel infinite distances without moving an inch. You can explore vast territories while lying perfectly still. The mind makes its own journeys, follows its own paths, visits its own strange lands. And the body just rests, patient and faithful, waiting for the mind to come back, to return from wherever it's been, to remember that it has a physical form, a specific location, a particular arrangement of flesh and bone that needs to be inhabited again eventually. But not yet. Not quite yet. There's still time to rest, still darkness to inhabit, still hours before the world returns and asks you to be present again, to engage, to participate in all the complicated requirements of waking life. For now you can stay here, in this soft suspension, this gentle forgetting, this space outside of time where nothing is required and everything is provided. The night has been generous with you. It's given you hours of stillness, hours of rest, hours of the deep and necessary forgetting that makes life bearable. Without these hours, without this regular return to darkness and silence, you couldn't continue. The world would be too much, too constant, too demanding. But the night gives you this gift every day, This pocket of time where you can stop, can rest, can simply exist without having to perform existence. You've accepted that gift tonight, taken it fully, used it well. You've rested deeply and completely. Let yourself be held by the darkness, trusted the night to take care of you. And it has. It's brought you through the hours safely, held you gently, protected you from everything except peace, except quiet, except the soft and necessary work of repair and rest. Soon the darkness will begin to thin. Light will creep back into the world, slowly at first, then faster, until the night is just a memory, a dream, something that happened in another time. But that's still ahead, still to come. Right now the darkness remains. The stillness continues. The night holds you still in its soft, dark hands, and you can rest a while longer, just a while, in this deep and quiet place where nothing moves and everything is exactly as it should be. The body knows when it's time to wake, and it's not time yet. So you stay breathing slowly, resting deeply, held by the darkness, held by the stillness, held by the simple fact of being here, being safe, being exactly where you need to be for exactly as long as you need to be here. The night will tell you when it's done with you. The darkness will release you when it's time. Until then, you can rest. You can stay. You can continue this slow, soft drift through the deep hours, this gentle suspension in time, this perfect, complete stillness that asks nothing and gives everything. Just rest now. Just breathe. Just be here in the soft darkness, held and safe and deeply, deeply still.